Ghost wasn't trying to be the biggest drug dealer forever. He had a bigger plan. He opened Truth, a high-end nightclub, not just to clean money, but to create a new identity. This move was strategic. He knew the hustle had an expiration date, and if he didn't build something legitimate, he'd die in the game or rot in prison.
Welcome back to another video. Hope your day's going good. And in today's video, Power taught you how to get rich, but nobody noticed. Now, this is by that guy that does the Nobody Noticed series. I like this. But with Power, this holds a special place in my heart. I found out about this show late, but it's great. I'm trying to find out what lessons I missed.
I've never watched Power, bro. Jay still tried to get me to watch it, but I'm not really a show person, bro. So let's find out how they told us how to get that money.
Power taught you how to get rich if you were paying attention. Most people watch Power for the drama, the betrayal, and the shootouts. But if you were really watching,
oh yeah, them shootouts is epic.
You saw the playbook. Ghost didn't just hustle. He scaled, pivoted, and made power moves that looked like street business. But underneath, they were boardroom genius. This wasn't just about surviving, it was about evolving. Every episode had a message hiding beneath the guns and the glamour. And in this video, we're breaking down the key money lessons from Power that every hustler, entrepreneur, or forward thinker should know. Lesson 1.
Take your notes
Build
out.
a brand beyond the hustle. Ghost wasn't trying to be the biggest drug dealer forever. He had a bigger plan. He opened Truth, a high-end nightclub, not just to clean money, but to create a new identity. This move was strategic. He knew the hustle had an expiration date, and if he didn't build something legitimate, he'd die in the game or rot in prison. The club wasn't just a front, it was the first piece of his.
The only thing I'm going to add to what he's saying right now, this is just a quick yap. Don't link your identity to just one thing you're doing. I do this reaction video, but I don't think of myself as just a YouTuber. My name is Jay Stu. I mean, that's the name y'all know, right? And there's so many different facets to me. I could do anything I really want. Anything I put my mind to, I can create. That's how you got to move. That's what he means by like always ready to pivot.
Yeah.
Transition from Ghost to James
Not
St. Patrick,
Guy
respected
033
businessman.
says, Jay Stu is my
What does
guy.
this teach us? Your grind
Appreciate you,
shouldn't trap you.
Maddie.
It should fund your future. A strong brand built outside your original hustle gives you options. It opens rooms your street rep can't. Think of how people flip streetwear brands, consulting firms, or real estate deals after making their first money. Ghost knew his end goal wasn't dominance in the drug game, it was freedom. But freedom needs structure. The smartest part, he wasn't waiting to retire before starting. He built while still in the trenches. That's how real players move. They plant the seeds early, they diversify, and they never let the grind define who they're becoming. Lesson 2,
Facts.
play both sides strategically.
Always.
Ghost was a master of double lives. On one hand, he was a high.
Another law of power. This is like a breakdown of the 48 laws of power. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. That's how he's playing both sides.
high-level drug boss. On the other, a respected club owner and public figure. He sat in meetings with politicians, detectives, and business elites while hiding the fact that he still ran a criminal empire. How did he pull this off? He understood both sides of power. The streets taught him how to move quietly. The boardroom taught him how to speak the language of money. The real lesson here is about adaptation. In life and business, it's not about choosing one world and staying there. It's about knowing how to move between them. When you can read both the streets and the suits, you become unpredictable. You become dangerous.
Facts. And you know how true this is? Throughout the whole scripting of the show, right? To the end when he seemed like he was off the leash. He didn't know what he was up to. Everybody's here sitting there speculating. Even his own wife felt like she didn't even know him no more. I think Ghost might do this. They over here having the boardroom meetings around this nigga because they don't know his next move. That's how you want to be.
Ghost could read people, adjust his tone, and manipulate conversations to his advantage. That's how he kept winning, even when he was surrounded by enemies.
There's a show,
in real life too.
But you can do this in real life, bro.
And learn to navigate elite spaces often outshine those born into power. Why? Because they know struggle. they know risk, and they've learned how to wear multiple masks without losing the core game. Of course, playing both sides is dangerous. One misstep,
Definitely.
and both worlds can crash in on you. But for a while, Ghost balanced it.
And I know I sound like I'm praising the shit out of this right now, but honestly, bro, this is not something you really want to practice all this into your real life. He's a drug dealer. His life is high risk. You're a common man. You're not out here. You don't got enemies. People aren't out here trying to kill you. Dial it back. Let's be normal. When you talk about your enemy, that could be somebody just bad mouthing you at school. Yeah, play nice. What's good, my nigga, dog? You gonna throw him off? Why is he being nice to me? This fuck nigga.
What made him so compelling and so hard to stop. Lesson 3. Protect your inner circle, but verify loyalty. Ghost didn't fall because of his enemies. He fell because of the people closest to him. Tommy, his ride or die, turned on him more than once. Kanan was a mentor who became a rival. Even Angela, the woman he loved, played both sides. The truth is, your circle is your power base. And if you don't protect it or check it, your empire could fall from the inside. Ghost made the mistake of assuming loyalty was permanent. It's not. Loyalty shifts when power shifts. He never fully checked Tommy's envy or Angela's conflict of interest. And by the time he saw betrayal, it was too late. His world was already burning. This happens in real life too. Startups fall apart when co-founders turn. Teams collapse when someone leaks information or flips to a competitor. That's why smart leaders don't just trust their team. They manage their team. They run audits. They draw boundaries. They test trust quietly but consistently. What could Ghost have done differently? He could have separated emotion from strategy. He could have created layers of protection around himself. And most importantly, he could have replaced loyalty with alignment. When everyone's goals match yours, betrayal becomes harder. In the end, Ghost had the vision, the skills, and the power, but he lost control of the people who knew him best. That was the crack in his empire. That's where it all started to fall apart. Lesson 4. Balance ambition with moral strategy. In power, Ghost's ambition is unmatched. He wants to leave the drug game, run a successful nightclub, and build a new life with Angela. But every step forward comes with a moral compromise. He lies, manipulates, cheats, and kills. He cheats on Tasha to be with Angela. He frames people close to him. He bends the rules of business, love, and survival until the lines disappear. Each of these decisions chips away at the trust people have in him. It costs him allies like Tommy. It hurts his kids. It even drives Angela to her death. The lesson here is simple. Ambition without moral limits destroys everything you're working for.
Facts. And this is something I think I've always had a strong grasp on. But like the more and more I matured, the more and more it's like I'm drawing more and more limit. Because it would start off with, yeah, we're not doing OF, but that's like an obvious moral limit. But then it comes out to like now selling out friends' secrets. Yeah. Telling stories we know would go viral, but it would cost a friendship.
For sure.
Nah.
Leaders need strategy, but strategy without values becomes chaos. In the real world, this is how corporate scandals begin. Take the story of Theranos. What started as innovation turned into lies, cover-ups, and collapsed trust. Ghost's arc mirrors that slow unraveling, where small decisions become irreversible. What's more troubling is how audiences responded. Critics at the LA Times pointed out that viewers still rooted for Ghost, even as he kept falling deeper into moral decay. That says a lot about how society sometimes glorifies success over integrity. The takeaway is clear.
Crazy.
Being powerful doesn't mean discarding your values. If you want to build something that lasts, your ambition has to be guided by a moral compass. Ghost had the brains and the vision, but he kept choosing shortcuts. And in the end, that made him a cautionary tale, not a legend. Lesson 5. Don't let ego blind your exit strategy. One of Ghost's biggest downfalls is not knowing when to walk away. He reaches the top, successful clubs, rising political influence.
And I will say that too. He was at the top, at the pinnacle. And then like in the last season, he seemed like he wanted to be back in the game. You know, this happens to anybody who tries to build something up. It's like, it's hard to walk away from your baby, but you got to realize your identity isn't that no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we going backwards when we trying to go forward? Don't make that mistake. If your identity starts to shift in one way, don't start to look back at your old life. that will cause your destruction.
For sure.
But instead of pulling back and securing what he built, he doubles down. He believes he's untouchable. He wants more power, more control, more legacy. Even when the signs are clear that he's in too deep, he keeps pushing, and it all collapses. This is one of the most important lessons in business and life. Know when it's time to exit. Ego makes people overstay their moment. That's how legacies get destroyed. In Ghost's case, his refusal to let go pulls everyone into chaos. Tasha, Tariq, Angela, even his political partners. By the end, he's surrounded by enemies, legal problems, and betrayal. He dies trying to protect a legacy he never took time to stabilize. In the real world, founders and CEOs face this all the time. PwC reports that most family businesses fail because there's no exit or succession plan. Leaders want to be irreplaceable, but that mindset ends up doing more harm than good. Even massive companies have collapsed because leaders couldn't step aside. Ghost thought,
shit, we just looked at roadblocks.
Yeah.
If them 3 people just stepped down, company hired new people to come in.
Yeah.
We're taking action. Shutting down those red chats.
And they say to be a good leader, you gotta be a good follower, bro.
On
So
God.
don't let your ego control you.
On God.
he was building an empire. But the truth is, empires don't last without strategy for the long game. He didn't just fail to plan his exit. He ignored every sign telling him it was time. His story is a warning. Success is not just about what you build. It's also about how and when you choose to step away. Leave too early, you might miss your moment. Stay too long, you lose everything. Lesson 6. Know the rules, but never assume you're unbreakable. Ghost was a master of the game. He knew the streets, he knew the club scene, and he learned the political world fast. He built networks, cleaned money, dodged surveillance, and stayed 5 steps ahead for a while. But over time, his confidence turned into arrogance. He stopped being cautious. He underestimated rivals. He ignored threats from law enforcement. He acted like the rules didn't apply to him anymore. And that's when everything fell apart. Ghost's empire starts to crumble the moment he believes he's too smart to lose. He thinks he can outmaneuver Tommy, Angela, Tasha, the feds, and even Tariq.
Yeah, this is another rule of power. Never underestimate your enemy, bro.
Facts.
But every move he makes exposes a new weakness. Eventually, the people closest to him turn against him. Even his son doesn't believe in him anymore. This lesson isn't just about crime. It applies to anyone in power. CEOs who ignore regulations, politicians who dismiss opposition, influencers who think their status
just reacted to roadblocks today. I'm sorry.
These are the
I
people who
keep
fall
bringing
the
it up.
hardest. Thinking you're unbreakable is the fastest way to break. In business, the same pattern plays out. Companies that stop innovating, that ignore customer feedback, that assume their position is safe, they get replaced. Ghost's story reflects this perfectly. He built something strong, but he didn't protect it. He didn't adapt. He just assumed he'd always win. Critics say the writing in Power was sometimes inconsistent.
This was the craziest scene in there. Imagine you with daddy. The first thing you wake up to, your dad got a gun to your head.
What?
Gun to your head. Name 5 of my songs right now. I'm dead. I'm dead, daddy.
Agreed on one thing. Ghost's downfall was believable because it's the same story we see in real life again and again. Pride becomes blindness. Confidence becomes carelessness. Power becomes weakness. If you want to win and keep winning, you have to respect the rules and never forget how quickly everything can change. Lesson 7.
Nah, that's
Invest
crazy.
in influence, not just income. Ghost didn't just build wealth. He built relationships with people in power. One of the clearest examples was his alliance with Councilman Rashad Tate. While Ghost's street dominance began to weaken, his entry into politics gave him a different kind of leverage. It wasn't just about making money anymore. It was about controlling rooms
go ahead, give
where
me that.
real decisions were made. And for a while, those connections gave him the illusion of stability, even as his criminal
I remember
empire
this.
practiced.
This guy is his enemy right here. That politician. This is a great thing right here. At first, you would think Ghost would want to take the gun out and point it at bro and take him out, right? But no, because to make himself look like a hero would make him put on Front Street. Then they would start looking into his background. So he said, oh, you want to be a politician, even though you're my enemy? Here what I do. I'll make you this time.
Yeah.
Take my gun, made him shoot the nigga. He's on Front Street, but guess where this shit happened at? In Ghost's club.
Yeah.
So his club gets the publicity. He gets to be the hero. Right. So he's playing two sides.
Yeah, both people win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ethan, this highlights a vital principle. Money can buy you access, but influence keeps doors open even when your fortune fades. Ghost's political ties helped protect him from legal heat and opened opportunities that raw income never could. While his enemies targeted his businesses and his street reputation collapsed, he still had people in his corner because of the favors and alliances he had built. In the real world, this is why successful corporations spend millions on lobbying, partnerships, and public relations, not just to sell products, but to shape environments. Yeah. Leaders who ignore this end up rich but replaceable. Influence, unlike cash, builds ecosystems that support you even in crisis. Ghost didn't fully understand that. He saw politics as an extension of his control, not as a long-term investment. He wanted to use influence, but never surrendered enough to grow with it. That failure cost him. The big takeaway is this. True power is sustained by the people who vouch for you when things go wrong. You can earn a fortune and still lose everything if no one stands behind you. Invest in people. Build strategic relationships. Strengthen your name beyond your net worth. If you want to build something that lasts, influence will carry you further than any amount of money can. Lesson 8. Legacy comes from values, not violence. Ghost spent his life trying to build a legacy, but by the end, everything he worked for was in ruins. His daughter was gone, his son resented him, his marriage was shattered, and even though his name lived on through his nightclub and political ties, the truth is, his legacy was stained with loss, betrayal, and violence. This is the painful truth power leaves viewers with. Violence may win battles, but it never secures legacies. Ghost used fear, force, and manipulation to climb to the top, but nothing he built could survive without him. When he died, everything fell apart. His empire didn't pass peacefully to his children. It became a war zone. His own son Tariq pulled the trigger. Legacy is not about how much power you hold. It's about the values you leave behind. Great leaders are remembered not just for their victories, but for how they changed people's lives, what they stood for, and who continued their mission.
And I ain't gonna lie, this is exactly how I started thinking. Like, once I left out of high school and I was like questioning, like, shit, what am I gonna do? Damn, what type of man do I want to be, bro? First things I started coming up was, I'm gonna stand on everything I say. I may not have did all of that in high school, but I'll make sure I do it from this point forward, bro. Yeah. As much as I can. Die by it. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
After they were gone, Ghost failed in this.
That's how you leave a legacy behind.
Control
have integrity, have morals, standards.
Fear, not inspiration. In the real world, legacy builders like Steve Jobs, Maya Angelou, or Nelson Mandela are remembered not because they were perfect, but because they left behind a vision others wanted to carry forward. In contrast, people who rise through ruthless ambition may earn headlines, but once they're gone, their names fade because no one wants to carry their torch. Critics of power have often pointed out that the show glorified criminality without deeply exploring the cost. Ghost's downfall was more than just plot, it was a cautionary tale. If you build your empire on broken trust and spilled blood, don't expect it to stand without you. So, what kind of legacy do you want to leave? One that crumbles the moment you're gone, or one that grows stronger?
I ain't leaving no legacy that's crumbling behind me.
The difference always lies in the values you.
I'm building my shit with the brick by brick. Yeah, we standing the test of time, y'all.
For sure.
Choose to live by.
VGF for life.
It was never just about drugs.
VGF.
It was about levels. It showed how a man could climb out of the mud, build a brand, play the system, and almost win. Ghost was flawed, but he was brilliant. And if you watched carefully, you saw how the street game, the corporate world, and politics are all connected. It's all strategy. It's all chess. But what made Ghost so dangerous also made him vulnerable. His ambition outpaced his ability to manage loyalty. His desire to play both sides stretched him too thin. And in the end, the people he trusted the most helped bring him down. Still, his rise teaches us real lessons. Build something that lasts. Learn how to move in every room. Watch your circle closely. These aren't just street rules, they're life rules. Now we want to hear
Facts.
from you. Which of Ghost's power moves impressed you the most? And which mistake do you think sealed his fate? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more, and turn on notifications so you never miss a lesson. Click the video.
Yeah, man. W-vid. Hold on. I got you. Make sure I'm already subscribed to bro, so I can make sure I hit that. Oh, dang. I'm logged into my other account. It won't let me hit that like button. I ain't gonna go through all that problem. You know what it is, man. It's all love. Oski?
Most of these are about having a big ego, so I'm gonna just speak on that. Yeah, when you're on the way to the top, bro, don't burn your bridges, bro. You gotta have morals and boundaries. And then when you get to the top, you gotta always stay on your pivot, bro. Don't ever think that you can't fall off. And don't ever think that you're
irreplaceable?
Yeah.
You already know, man. Love y'all, great for y'all, man. Binge the rest of the videos on the channel. You already know, yeah. BGF for life.